I mean, why should you care when he's out there jumping up and down with every woman he sees?
Am I allowed to ask questions again? Ponga, why are you so eager about whistling in the dark that our father was murdered?
Yes, because he was. He was murdered. I mean, he was foaming when he died. What you call the tower report?
I foam in my mouth when I sleep. Does that mean I'm poisoned?
Oh, Chikondi, stop being stupid. We are not in the mood for your rubbish right now.
And the black sheep speaks.
Don't call me that.
If I tell you what to do, are you going to do it?
No, you think on it.
Call Amose for me. Harry, my love.
I'm going to say more people to her. No, me.
Natika itana Amose. Ikazipaya. That was a brave. Okay.
You. Don't be stupid. Huh? You think I'm foolish? Huh? You want to play with me? You. If you don't know me, I can be as cunning as a crocodile. Huh? Where you go? Huh? You don't want to kill me?
Magunjelo weka tema nyingi kanjolwa kalingongwe mpemfuba koswe outside.
And outside we shall be singing goodbye, dear CJ. We shall never forget you, although you are very far away. We shall never forget you.
Last time unakuwa nifuta nkaniache.
Ndio Bobo. Ayo mafuta hiyo. Wana Asha.
Wakunde.
Uyu kambio chichi. Nduja kutia kunda manini ashari.
So, ini si why you para?
Since you don't expect the overwhelming response, I was in Chingola performing with the classic band, and I saw the video on TV on television. It's like, what? The next time I'm coming out, Sister D. I was like, how do I manage? Wow. You know, you get on a bus. I mean, we're using a bus. The conductor is busy calling people. Hey, Ngenani, your Sister D, are in bus. How am I going to handle this? Wow. You know.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Esther Chungunya Tando, and you are watching BMTV channel 114. God bless.
Sio mwache kupota pata 21 hours in vitani BMTV. But 21 hours perfect utapata ni wa Pac-Man mwache on the late night show na Pac-Man wakipa kwa
Welcome to Beyond the Whistle with me, your host, Isaac Chipwatanga. It's now another 60 minutes ahead of us where we reflect on what transpired yesterday at the FIFA World Cup. So much to talk about in as far as the global showpiece is concerned. A disastrous, return to the dugout for Hervrena in that 4-0 demolition that they suffered at the hands of Japan in the early hours. And of course, we'll be looking back at also how the Ivory Coast let the an opportunity to win, against Germany slipped through their fingers in the dying minutes of that particular encounter. So the 4 times former champions of the FIFA World Cup are getting their all-important 3 points that guarantees them progression to the round of 32 at this year's tournament. We'll also be building up to 2 very, very important fixtures amongst some of the favourites. Spain in action after an underwhelming performance, it must be said, against the Cape Verde Islands in their opening encounter. They'll be up against Saudi Arabia, so we'll be building up to that particular encounter, plus much more that you can expect on this edition of Beyond the Whistle. I'm not alone on set. I'm joined by 2 illustrious men in the world of football in this country. Ponga Liwewe is alongside me, and of course, Gezani Mbewe. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here.
Well, it's good to be back. Of course, there's a lot that has been happening. We are here to unfold what has been really happening at the World Cup 2026.
A good day for the Netherlands. Let's begin there, because they were on the right side of a 5-1 scoreline against Sweden, who ironically dished out a 5-1 demolition, to Tunisia in their first game. Contrasting results. Does this result show us the inconsistency of Sweden going into this particular World Cup that resulted in them not even qualifying automatically, but needing playoffs to get to this World Cup? Gezani.
Well, I think it was all about getting back to the winning ways after a bad spell they had. 2 times leading, then Japan just comes in and equalize against you. Then I think it was all about, I think the coach, what he needed now was more of pressing, because you're coming from, you just missed up instead of winning the game, then you draw. So it was all about, you are meeting Sweden, who were super able and managed to win 5-0 against Tunisia. Then what is your product? It is all about, I think we are looking for 3 points, and this is what they did. But in terms of, I think, a performance that Netherlands, they were able to put up at the World Cup. And they look like a sign, because before the World Cup, some people, they had a permutation saying maybe they can win the World Cup. But yesterday's night's performance was all about, I think, getting the grips of people now starting believing in them. I hope that the next game they'll be judged according to the next game, because I think they have really experienced something that I think now the world can say, I think, brilliant performance that Gakpo was able to put up. I think touch defense, Van Dijk, you cannot learn away from it that it was the runs that made Erlinga to score that one. But they had a brilliant defense, a most improved defense against what they played against Japan. So I think for me, it was great. I hope that they work around having that positive results. Maybe the way forward is all about, maybe they are still craving to win the World Cup. I think that's the only thing that they should be really eyeing for.
Okay. Ponga, the fact that, they played 2 games, they failed to keep a clean sheet at this particular World Cup, is that something that should concern, the technical bench for the Netherlands, considering that, there's often a cliche that is said that, strikers win your matches, but defenses win your tournaments?
Yeah, I think when you looked at the Netherlands, they show a lack of pace in the central part of their defense. Both central defenders, Van Dijk and his partner, don't have the speed off the mark to deal with fast strikers. And that was definitely shown in the fact that they've been conceding goals in the last 2 games. But I think the fact that they scored effectively.
It came in because you are looking at I think the striker that has got more trusts you and puts you in to start. I think that gives you a bit of pressure, but we saw, I think after 5 minutes, then he was able to, I think, to solidify himself and say, I think the confidence just came. And just after scoring, then we saw some glimpses of the movement. In terms of, I think, he's got so much energy compared to Dipe. But for me, that was brilliant. That's how you pronounce your name, and people now, I think they have started talking about him, because he knows that when you are looking for goals, he's able to provide. You score a brace. I think for me that was a very good. I think he has at the moment.
Okay.
Because it's not easy. You are playing against Sweden, the team that looked so much solid when they played against Tunisia. Then you just break down. You just brush. I think the team that looked so, I think so defensive. Apart from that, also they scored 5. Then I think think there was a bit of maybe you are meeting the team that looks like very lethal, the team that has got the likes of Isaac, and you are a striker. You are told to go and score some goals. I think for me, he accounted very well. We saw when Dipe also came in, there was a bit of some flashes, but it was not good enough. But also, the people that stole the show yesterday night should be Gakpo and him.
Okay. Ponga, when you look at, some of the substitutions that were made in this particular encounter, they really show the tactical know-how of, both coaches. And in particular, Graham Potter will be probably very excited for one of his, substitutes in Elang, the bright spot in this, 5-1 defeat against the Dutch. The fact that he knows that he can call upon, players who can come off the bench and impact the match.
Yes, but I think he'll be disappointed because when you've got Gyökeres and Isak up front, you'd expect those two, between the two of them, to be hitting the target more often and getting the goal into the net, which they haven't done that much in this World Cup. I think, particularly in this last game against the Netherlands, those are the big name guys who you want to hit target more often because they're your sharpshooters. Ilanga's a good player. I've seen him at Nottingham Forest, and he plays very well. And he came in, used his speed to good effect. Got past Van Dijk using his speed and found the back of the net. So that's guys up front.
Okay, let's look at the statistics of this, a particular, matchup between two of Europe's more consistent sides at major tournaments. Gez, I want to interest you to the third line in as far as the statistics is concerned. Sweden with 16 shots, but still managed to only score once. Does that reiterate what Ponga is talking about? The fact that they were carving out opportunities, but their striking force was just blunt on the day.
Well, sometimes you can be shooting, but what is important is the defenders when they are able to solidify the last line of it. They can prevent you from shooting from a near post of a clear chance. But in terms of shooting, I think they looked like Isaac. Sometimes he could just come from wide, then he's able to shoot. And yes, and I think from this World Cup, I can tell you that Isaac, he's not like Isaac that was playing for Liverpool. He's the Isaac that was playing for Newcastle United. Because you look at him, I think he's shown some flash of, the speed. He's able to pass. And 16 shots on target, then just to score a goal. I think that tells you a story saying that in terms of, wanting the goal, the position. They've been having the position. But in terms of, the defenders, for the Dutch were very very much alert. You look at even the goal that they allowed. It was speed for speed. Like Uncle Ponga said, it was all about Ilanga beating Van Dijk on speed. And after that speed and the accuracy, how he just scored, that was brilliant. But in terms of, the chances, they created more chances. I think maybe outside the 18 area, they were able to shoot because they knew there was a point that they were looking for a goal. If they had equalized, after allowing that goal, early allowing of that goal, they knew that if we can score them, then we are going to have a very good game. But I think they prevented the goal post very well. The defenders, they could just allow them to shoot from afar, not allowing them to get in. The pace is what made Sweden to score even their own goal. So I think for me, the statistics does not lie. They had more chances, but the chances were given outside the 18 area.
Ponga, what do you think they need to do, the Swedes, to convert those chances? Because clearly they say statistics and numbers don't lie. They had the better shots in terms of shots on target in this particular game. But it's the final, part of the jigsaw puzzle, to put the ball into the background that proved to be elusive yesterday. How does Graham Potter psych his team up for the next encounter? Because they really need 3 points to ensure progression.
Yeah, I think if you look at Robbie's movement, he scored 2 goals, both of them tap-ins. And I think that movement, ability to sense where to make the run, where to go into, where you sense that this is a possibility. If I make a run there and the ball comes there, I'm on target 100%. I think that's the clinicalness that was missing in the Swedish team. They would have shots on target, but look at where they were shooting from, as Gezani says, they were shooting from distance or from outside the box. They didn't really create any clear-cut chances as the Dutch did.
Okay.
And I think that's the difference between the two sides in the build-up to the goals.
Okay.
The Dutch are definitely much more creative and they will give you the...
In this particular encounter was historic because It brought up 100 goals for the Dutch at the FIFA World Cup. There are only 8 teams that have scored 100 goals or more at the FIFA World Cup. Gakpo and the Netherlands have now scored 100. On top of them is England with 108 goals. It's the same number of goals with France with 139, Argentina with 155, Germany with 139 goals, with Brazil on top of the pile with 241 goals scored at the FIFA World Cup, dating back to the first edition in 1930. Let's just quickly move away from that encounter between the two sides from Europe and focus on what transpired early this morning. A very, very disastrous comeback to the dugout for a certain Hevrena. How do you sum up that, demolition that they unfortunately suffered at the hands of the Japanese 4-0, the final result?
Well, it has been, I think, not only in Africa, but in the world, I think it has been so embarrassing at the moment. Two games, you allow 9 goals.
Yeah.
I think it's so difficult to comprehend the results, especially when you are coming from Tunisia and moreover Africa at large, because we believed that 10 teams that could have just gone to the World Cup, they should be very ready, match preparations for them to face the teams wherever they are going to face at the World Cup. But like in our village, they say, you cannot stop the fire that is coming, but you can tell the people that there's fire that is coming.
So that they can get out of the way.
Exactly.
I'm not so sure.
Prepared.
I'm not so sure if it applies. I mean, imagine if you tell the goalkeeper to get out of the goal.
No, not really. Like I'm talking about, I think even Hevrena, after being given that chance, he couldn't prevent it from, I think, the developing of allowing more goals. Because I think the mistake was already done. It is all about the preparations on how they went to the World Cup. Because already they knew. The moment that the team, the opponents that you've been drawn with, you should understand and start preparing how this team plays. They showed us how Cape Verde did against Spain. They knew that Spain, if you allow them to play from the nozzles from the both wingers, then you are doomed. So they closed up the wingers, both the right and the left, and this is how, and they put up 2 lines, first line and second line. That's how Cape Verde they survived. They survived. But Tunisia, I think they looked like a team that never got preparations to the World Cup. How do you even fire? First, let us accept that there was a mistake. How do you fire a coach after playing the first game? And again, you bring up a coach. You don't, even the coach right now, he doesn't know either it's going to continue or not. So I think there's total confusion, I think, within the team and within even the management, even the FA. I think at the moment, they need to go and explain to the people what they could have planned for this World Cup.
If you were part and parcel of the Tunisian Football Association at the moment, are you thinking after that result, probably we made the wrong decision? We should have just left the original coach to probably, see out this particular tournament.
I think in yesterday's preview, one of the points that we raised was that would Renard really have enough time to be able to effect his strategy and tactics and defensive play onto the Tunisian team? And clearly from yesterday, it showed that it's not enough time for him to be able to turn things around. He needs a lot more time to work with the team in training, to get his ideas across, to get his structure into place. And yesterday showed that, or rather this morning showed that this is far from the finished product.
And of course, conceding quite early didn't help matters. The fourth minute, goal must have destabilized, their game plan altogether.
Definitely. You've come in on the back of a demoralizing, conceding 5 goals, and then you concede within a few minutes. Things would definitely fall apart as they did against the Japanese.
Let's look at the official statistics of this particular match. And if you're a Tunisian, supporter, it really, really looks like there's no positives that you can get from, these statistics. Gez, speak to those statistics. What do they really tell us about this particular encounter?
Well, they'd already given up. After losing against Sweden 4-1, I think even the team, even the energies that we expected Hevrena could have inflicted on them, but looked like it was in vain. Look at the statistics of where shots on target, 0 and 5. it means there's a huge problem. Of course, I think a yellow card, red card doesn't matter much, but also look at the position, 37, 62. One thing that you have to understand, Isaac, most of the times when you are playing these two teams, Japan and South Korea, they are very fast.
Yeah.
They have got the pace. They can punish you if you are not careful. If you want to play like them, then you are going to be in problems. This is what Tunisia, they wanted. Look, these teams, they are predictable. Talk about Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. They are predictable how they are going to start.
Yeah.
They would force you to allow or maybe to score you within 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Then they settle and they know that they are going to destabilize the planning of the game. If they don't score you, then they are in problems because they don't know their strength. Most of their strength is to score you before 10 minutes elapses, or maybe after 10 minutes half time. They will make sure that they prepare in such situation that they are going to destabilize your thinking and the game plan. But if they are failing to score, it becomes very difficult because they know what South Korea and Japan they are going to do when you are meeting them. Prepare that the position you can give them. But how are you going to get the strength from there? Are you going to use maybe the wrong balls? Because play for play is very difficult.
Yeah.
They play like they don't get tired.
Yeah.
So I think statistically, I think they were underpowered against Japan.
As we wrap up, our reflections and reviewing Tunisia versus Japan, let me ask Ponga, the fact that now Tunisia are officially out of the tournament, they joined the likes of Turkey, who have already been eliminated. Do you see Renard probably tinkering with the lineup, and with the fact that now they don't play with any pressure on their shoulders, could we see a much improved performance by the Tunisians in their last encounter?
I think they're a bit limited in what they can bring onto the field in terms of their best 11 is probably their best 11. And not so many options off the bench. I think Renard will probably say, let me keep on working with this team, maybe try and get, things better off for the final games that we end on a high, rather than be totally disappointed in 3 huge defeats. I think he will be focused to get a decent result, maybe to organize his defenses a lot better than they have played for the last 2 games, and maybe try and get something, maybe play a little bit more cautious, rather than play an open game, which they've done for the first 2 games, and try and get something on the break, which is much more stable than playing an open game against sides who have the ability to control the ball, control the game. And
of Group F looks something like this. Obviously, we've already told you in Group F that Tunisia have been sent packing home. Of course, they still have 1 more game to play, but they're at the bottom with 0 points. And particularly of concern for a Tunisian faithful will be the fact that they have leaked in 9 goals. They have a negative 8 goal difference. And of course, it's a 3-horse race, if you like, in terms of hoping to qualify for the next round, with Japan and the Netherlands at the top there with 4 points apiece, as well as Sweden in 3rd position with 3 points. So that's how Group F looks like after match day number 2 at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Time for us now to turn our attention to Group E, where we did see Germany yesterday beat the Ivory Coast quite disturbingly, if you're an Ivory Coast, supporter, Gezani, because they were within seconds of clinching a famous draw, but ultimately the German machine grinded out the result at the end of 90 minutes and additional added time at the end of the match.
Well, they've got more experience when it comes to Germany. They know how to manage games. They have gone thick and thin of the World Cup because they've tested how victorious it can be. 4 times, it's not a joke. Moreover, you have to understand that they should be very much wounded. Last World Cup, they couldn't even go as far as the